Hello again, everyone. It's me, Madame Macabre, and welcome to a new storytime video. I will be honest with you guys in that today's storytime is a video that I have actually been a little reluctant to talk about, retell and everything, because, you know, it's just more of a sensitive subject matter, but I finally settled on deciding to share it with you guys because I think, if anything, it can be a teaching moment. So let me get started. You see, I love running into you guys at conventions and events. It is always one of the highlights of my days when people recognize me and they want to come, say hi, talk, get pictures and everything. It's great. I love meeting you guys without the barrier of the internet, and I think it's an amazing opportunity to get to know you guys a little better. However, there are certain lines, as with anybody, not just YouTubers, there are certain lines with anyone you probably don't want to cross if you don't want to scare them. And honestly, over the last two conventions, I had multiple run-ins with the same individual who, by the end of our last run-in, I had to get security involved. It was very scary for me, and I still to this day don't think this is a bad person. I just think that they couldn't take a hint. They didn't want to understand what... I'm making excuses for them. I have a problem with this. Shadow Kisses will take this less sympathetically, but let me just tell you guys the story so we can all be on the same page before we get into this, okay? So my first time actually running into this individual was at SakuraCon this last year, and I ran into them once, and the first time, nothing was wrong. I didn't get any super sketchy vibes or anything. It seemed like somebody who's just, you know, excited to see me, like everybody else that I've run into, because it's like, oh, I recognize you, cool. But he was a little more giddy than usual, but that was fine. We chatted for a little while, and he took a picture, and then it was fine, and then we went on our way, and it was all good. However, we continued to run into this person, and things slowly started to become a little more and more off. He found our group again a little bit later in the day at that convention, and we were going on our way to dinner, leaving the convention, and he kind of like buddied into the group, and again, we were just like, oh hey, nice to see you again. You know, we actually can't talk long, we're on our way to dinner, our group is going there, we've got a reservation, and he was kind of like, oh, I'll go with you. And that was the first sort of off thing. We're just like, actually, nobody in my group knows you. I don't really know you that well. I love the fact that you wanted to say hi and it was super friendly and everything, but we actually have a set reservation with a set number of people where we're just gonna go. And he's like, okay, I'll walk with you till you get there. And again, at that point, nothing too bad or weird or anything. We're just like, again, my friends were getting a little uncomfortable because it was an all-girls group. And this was a strange man none of us knew. I had only just met the first time yesterday, and like he was like getting super close, and it was weird. He had a way of, we were having personal conversations and he would just cut in when like nobody was even addressing him. And again, it could have just, at that point, it's just social awkwardness. But, you know, he tried walking our group to the restaurant, and another person in my group was like, nah dude, that's all right, we can take ourselves. You have a good con. And, you know, we were able to go on our way, and he went on his way, and it was fine. And then we ran into him a third time, and at this point, it was after hours. It was probably like 1 a.m. We had gone back to the rave. Not gonna lie, we were pretty tipsy. You know, it was our party night, and we were with our buddy system. We were all being responsible. It's fine. We used Uber. And, except we were outside the dance hall because it was like 1,000,000 degrees in there, and we were all dying and out of breath. And we're like, you know what? Let's go outside, cool down, and just, you know, figure out what we're gonna do next. Well, lo and behold, right outside the dance hall is waiting our overly eager friend. And, without waiting for a, oh, hey, or anything like that, he just kind of charges right up to, again, our all-girl group, dressed in our little rave outfits and all that stuff, and is just like, oh, hey, looks like fun, I'm gonna join you guys. Like, again, not even like a question of, hey, would it be all right? No, just, I'm gonna join you guys. And again, mind you, this was an all-ladies group doing a ladies' night thing, And this was, again, a strange man none of us knew. And he would get, like, we were trying to do the natural body language of building a circle to, like, block out people we didn't know, and he just, like, tried to cut right into the circle. And it was a little uncomfortable, not gonna lie. It made everybody in the group feel really weird, especially because it's like we were trying to have, like, conversations with one another with personal jokes, inside jokes, you know, references that people outside our friend group might not necessarily get, and he'd try and domineer the conversation, like, oh, that's cool, but me, like, talk, and everybody, like, in the group was, like, looking at each other uncomfortably, like, who is this guy, and, like, why is he, like, getting so close to me, and just, like, it was a really weird energy that it brought to the group, and everybody was uncomfortable, and, we tried a couple times, you know, we might actually just go back to the dance hall, so we'll see you later. Oh, I'll go with you. Actually, we're gonna do this. Oh, I'll go with you. And it's just like, I have a really hard time being the assertive one, saying, I'm sorry, but I would like to go with just my friends. Can you please not come with us? You know, I feel like that's mean. I don't want to be the one to be like, go away. But at that point in time, he was making us all incredibly uncomfortable, and I just wanted to say, dude, can you please just go away? But, like, I have a really hard time with that. I just want to be nice to everybody. And even in that situation where I was super uncomfortable, I didn't have it in me to go, this is somebody, you know, who says they like my content and they like all this stuff. And, like, I appreciate all the people who support me. So it put me in a weird rock and a hard place situation where I'm like, I can't be mean to this person because, like, he's supporting me and all this stuff. And I don't know. It's just the way I'm wired. I have trouble with that. But, you know, our group was so uncomfortable, we couldn't find a way to get him away from us without, you know, outright being rude. Especially, like, I'm not gonna lie, you guys, it's kind of rough when some guys don't take being told to, like, they don't take rejection well. I've encountered some guys who get scary when they are not told what they want to hear. And again, this was someone that we had no idea who he was. It was a group of about 4 girls and a random guy who just kept getting really close, domineering the conversation and demanding to follow us around everywhere. And it spooked us. So it kind of ruined the night for us. We were having a really fun time, but we didn't know how we were going to get away from him. One friend was like, can we just, like, I don't know, like, maybe we can try and lose him, maybe we can do this, that, and, like, because none of us wanted to be the one that straight up and just goes, go away, especially if it, like, set him off and made him angry, and, like, it was 1 a.m. So, ultimately, it ended our night. We stopped, you know, partying and having fun, and we just went back to the hotel, because that was the only place where he couldn't follow us. He wanted to walk us there, yeah, but, we weren't having any of that. We're like, actually, we're getting in the Uber, you know, it's a ways, and, because he didn't need to know where we were staying. It's just, the vibes were wrong. The vibes were wrong. It was just, it was spooky. It was spooky, and, like, after that, I didn't run into him anymore at the convention. I don't know if he was only there for that one day or whatever, but, you know, it was fine, and I thought that was that. That was kind of a interesting experience, but that happened. That's once. That's, like, one really uncomfortable, awkward encounter out of, you know, dozens and dozens and dozens from all the events I've gone to where everybody has been amazing. So it's just one uncomfortable encounter. But it got worse because apparently since I didn't have it in me to just, like, straight out be like, I appreciate that you like my content, but that doesn't give you a right to, like, have access to every access of my life and my time when I go to events. When I'm not a guest at a convention, I'm just going to the convention as a person, and, like, so I'm not, like, on display, like, you know, sometimes I want to do things just with my buddies. I'm totally cool with, like, doing things with fans, and, like, hey, if you meet and we, like, click and everything, you may just naturally gel right into our friend group and hang out. However, like, I don't know, like, I love meeting you guys, but I also don't like this feeling like he had this expectation that, like, I owed him my time and presence at that convention, and that was just kind of a yucky feeling. But I'm derailing myself. So because I wasn't stern enough in saying, hey dude, you need to give me a little bit of space, and you know, I'm fine with meeting up and chatting for a little bit, but you've got to let me go do my own thing and stop following me and my friends all over the convention, like tailing us like a shadow. It's not okay. But because I didn't do that, it encouraged him, and he came and tracked me down at another convention. And I say tracked me down because he informed me that at SakuraCon, he was only coming to that convention because I was there. And mind you, I wasn't there as a guest. I had just been, you know, tweeting on my social media that I was going to be attending as just a person going to this convention. But he had never been to this convention before. He wasn't even staying, like, he was driving up after work to this convention just to try and track me down. And, like, maybe he thought that was sweet, but, like, on the flip side, that can also be kind of creepy when, like, you've got no interest in this convention, you're only coming to hunt me down, and by doing that, you're spending your time and money to come up here. It almost, like, puts the guilt factor on me to have to, like, spend my entire con there with you, and it just, I don't know, buddy. I don't know, like, you should have just gone and enjoyed the convention for the convention, because I'm just a person, I'm not an exhibit. And, I'm all over the place in this video because it's a little bit distressing to relive. And, but we'll keep going. So, the next convention was Seattle Crypticon. Now, this was yet another one where he had no interest in this convention. He had never been before. Again, he informed us he only came because he heard I was coming. And I didn't even make a big deal about going to this one, you guys. Like, I didn't, because some other conventions, I'm like, hey, I'm going to be here at this day. Come find me if you want. I didn't do any of that. For Crypticon, all I did was make one post the day before I went going, oh my gosh, I'm going to Crypticon tomorrow. Which costume should I wear, you guys? Like, that was the only post I made. I didn't even say what day. It was just, I'll go tomorrow. He decided from that tweet to buy a ticket the day he knew I was going to be there, simply to try and run into me and my friends again. And again, like, on one side that can seem dedicated and sweet, but on the other, again, with all these factors adding up, it starts to get uncomfortable. And I have mixed feelings, because on the one hand, part of me strongly believes this is just a very socially awkward person, but the other part of me, based on what happens later in the story time, like, I can only make so many excuses for this kind of behavior, and I'll just tell you the story. So we go to Crypticon. I go with, this time not with the group, this time just with my friend Shadow Kisses. So it's just the two ladies, and we have a wonderful time, like, from 11 a.m. when we get there up until about 4 p.m. I wish I could have stayed for the whole thing, but I wasn't able to get a hotel in time, so we just did the one day, the Saturday. And the whole day, it was fantastic, wonderful convention. However, all the positive vibes went right down the toilet about 4 p.m. because, lo and behold, guess who we ran into? And I'm having an internal, like, I can feel, like, my chest constricting, because I'm like, oh no, it's the guy that was, like, not letting us go at SakuraCon. And I'm just like, he's gonna try the same thing here, isn't he? He's gonna try, like, he's not gonna be satisfied with, like, a 5-6 minute chat and a photo. He's gonna want to literally commandeer the rest of my convention and, like, follow me around the entire rest of the night. And again, you guys, I'm a shy person. I'm socially awkward myself. Like, you know, if I click with a person, like, I will actively invite you to come do things with me, but, like, if I'm shy or uncomfortable and I kind of want to get off, and sometimes I need to calm down, too much social stuff, but it's, I don't know. I'm just trying not to come off, like, overly mean or anything in this video, but it really was one of the scariest experiences I've ever had in relation to my doing YouTube. So we run into him, and we're just like, we're chatting him up, we're being real nice, and we take a picture with him, and we wanted to just go continue on our way, do our thing where we were going next, and as per usual, like, we go, well, you have a good convention. Well, maybe we'll see you at another one in the future later on. Bye-bye. And he starts following behind us going, oh, no, we don't have to say goodbye now. I'll just go with you. And not even asking. And, like, we're just, like, Shadowkiss and I are just, like, side-eyeing each other, like, what do we do? And fortunately, like, we hadn't really eaten anything all day, so we're like, we are gonna go eat, so you do the convention, since, again, he just got there because he drove up there after work. He only came there to track me down. And, like, so we're just like, oh, we gotta go eat, sorry. And, like, he was wanting to follow us along there, and we're just like, we're going somewhere away from the convention center. I have to physically go back to my own personal car and drive there. And I'm sorry, but even if you're the coolest person in the world, like, if I just met you, I don't think I want you following me back to my car and, like, getting in my vehicle. And it's just, again, maybe I'm just a shy person, but that's one of my limits. That's, me. So, we're just like, no, sorry, we gotta go. I don't know you. Like, I'm pretty weird about people in my car. I'm not that weird, but I was just trying, just trying anything to nicely. I can't believe he wasn't picking up on the hints, like, our body language uncomfortable, like, us backing away, constant, like, everything about the situation was both these women were very uncomfortable and telling you, you go have a good con, we're gonna leave now, and you're just taking that as a keep trying harder, keep trying to invite myself along. And, we eventually were able to skedoodle away, but, we calmed down, we had our lunch and everything, we're just like, okay, he's getting a little more aggressive now, and this is spooky, and I'm uncomfortable with the fact that it's happened at 2 conventions now. I don't know what I'm gonna have to do about this. I don't want to have to do anything because I don't want to feel mean. It's really making me uncomfortable. So we go back to the convention. We had met some really cool people while we were there, and, we're hanging out with them, chatting and everything. We went outside to the little smoking courtyard so we could get away from the heat of the building for a while, and we were chatting with our, like, nice friend. This is how bad it was getting, though, to the fact, like, I was happy to stay out in the smoking area, and, like, I hate the smell of cigarette smoke. It makes my nose itch. I hate it, but I was happy to be out in the smoking area because I thought I was out of sight, out of mind from our creeping friend. Like, I literally went out and I just dealt with the drippy, itchy nose just because I'm like, no, it's fine. He doesn't know we're here. He can't see us. We're not in view of the windows. Like, that's how bad it was getting. But, so we're chatting with our friend. Mind you, our friend he's pretty big. Like, he was wearing these giant platform boots thing, this big costume thing. So, in his costume, like, a good, 6'5" maybe. And, so we started to feel a little safer. And we start walking in, and we're chatting. The second we walk in, I kid you not, the second we walk in from that smoking area, guess who is standing right there, like 10 feet away from the door, staring at us, focused, fixatedly. And I'm just like, I'm just not going to make eye contact with him. Maybe he'll go away, maybe he'll get the message. So I turn to our very tall friend, and I keep having a conversation with him. And, we had a conversation for quite a little while. Like, it went on for a couple minutes, and he wasn't going away. And just, like, I remember at one point, my friend had asked a question in regards to, because I worked in a lot of haunted houses, and I had mentioned a haunted house that I worked at in my hometown. And, because we were trading, like, our friend works at a haunted house, I worked at haunted houses, and I was exchanging info, sort of. It was a good conversation despite the underlying fear. However, I didn't realize that how heavily our friend over there was eavesdropping. And again, that is not okay. If I'm having if my body is closed off away from you, I'm having a private conversation with somebody else off to the side of a door, you're over there, I am not making eye contact with you. That is not an invitation to, like, let me listen to everything you say about yourself and then jot that down away so I can bring it up later when you were not talking to me and that is not information you chose to share with me. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. However, so our friend he recognized that guy, like, or he didn't recognize him. He saw him. He realized we were uncomfortable, but there was nothing he could do because he was working the event and he had to go off and do one of his duties. So he had to leave us, and we're just like, please take us with you. But before we could slip after our friend and just follow him wherever he was going, we got cut off by this guy again, and he just like starts talking to us, like, awkwardly. Like, I don't even remember what we were talking about because I genuinely can't remember any of these conversations because I was just in my head panicking, thinking about how to get away from him. Like, I couldn't even focus on what he was saying. And then at one point, like, Shadowkisses and I, we just wanted to go enjoy the convention. And then this guy starts talking about how he's meeting somebody upstairs to buy something from them. And we're like, perfect, he can go do his thing now and we can get away. And then he's just like, you should come with me while I pick it up. Homie, what? Go, leave us be, go get your thing, please. And then he's just like, you should come with us. And we're just like, nah, sorry, we were actually on our way to do this thing over here. And it's like he was disappointed that we weren't going with him to meet up with somebody away from the con to pick something up. Like, buddy, I don't know what to tell you. So we get away because he's got to go do his thing. And at this point, it's bad. Like, I can't enjoy the convention anymore because every time we turn a corner, I'm, like, expecting to see him there. So, like, it went from, yay, convention mindset to, like, panic, fear, worry. And, like, we're starting to think about actually just leaving the convention early because it's gotten so bad. And that's sad because, like, we're having a blast there. We don't have enough horror events up here. And I love horror, you know, like the big boy. I love horror, and we don't have enough events. And that's once a year, and I feel like I didn't really get to enjoy it because by the end of it, all I was doing was fearing running into this person who just wouldn't leave me be. And he did run into us one last time. We had decided, because the mood had just dropped too much, and we're like, let's just head home. Like, you know, I can't deal with the stress. We're gonna go find our big friend, and we're gonna exchange info, because up until that point, we just kept running into each other and chatting, but we never, like, properly exchanged names and info and everything. And that's the sad thing, because I never did get his name or information, because he was a cool guy. He could have been friends with us, like, hung. It was fine. But, like, we never got to find him again. So we could be buddy pals, and, like, because we ran into this guy before we could find our friend, and at that point, the wheels in my mind went from locate new friend to run for your life. So at this point, when he's just like, hey, ladies, what are we doing now? And I'm like, I look at Shadow, because we didn't even discuss this beforehand. I just go, actually, we're heading home. I'm just gonna find the place where you pay to park, and we gotta go. So you go enjoy your convention. Since you only just got here, go enjoy it. You don't have to leave because we're leaving. And he's just like, oh, let me walk with you to your car. And again, it's dark now, it's nighttime, and I don't want this man knowing what my car looks like, my license plate number. He doesn't need that information. So I'm starting to panic now, and like, I'm like, okay, actually, maybe we're gonna go get a coffee before we pay for our thing. Okay, I'll come with you. And like, we're backing away. All his body language just screams, get away from us. And he's following us along. And then when we're trying to walk away from him, he just turns to me and goes, so, blank blank is your hometown, huh? You live there now? At this point in time, like, I felt like I was dunked into ice water. I was terrified. I'm like, where the hell did he hear about, like, my hometown? Like, I haven't shared any story times sharing the name of the town I was born in and all that. Like, I didn't share where I grew up, all that, you know, and you're asking me if I live there now. Where did you hear this? In hindsight, I realized it was because he was eavesdropping in on my conversation with my actual friend. But, like, dude, who does that? You don't eavesdrop personal information and then bring it up later when there's no way you should actually have that information. That's creepy. And, like, that terrified me. And I told him, no, I don't live there anymore, and I'm not really comfortable with you asking about where I live. Oh, you don't live there? Well, then where do you live? Can you tell me where you live? And at that point, I'm just like, I froze in my tracks. We were right next to a bathroom at that point, thank God. And I said, you know, I am a very shy person, and I'm not comfortable telling random strangers where I live. I'm sorry, but I've got to go. Have a nice day. And I tore into the bathroom, and Shadow Kisses followed me. So we hid in the bathroom, and we're like, what the hell is going on? Like, because at this point, we hadn't made the connection that he was eavesdropping our earlier conversation. So we're just like, how does he know my hometown? Where is he getting information about me, personal information? Does he know where I live now? Does he know my house number? Does he, like, what's gonna happen? Is he gonna try and kill me? Like, it was scary. And so Shadow Kisses was like, okay, I'm gonna go take a peek and see if he's gone yet, and then if he's gone, we can run for it. She peeks out. He's sitting on a bench outside the bathroom, staring. And she ducks back in, and she's like, oh my god, what do we do? What do we do? And so we're having this conversation, and thank God, at that point in time, there was a female security member in the bathroom with us, and she had overheard us, and she's like, is someone giving you trouble? And I had a problem with this at a point because, again, I did not want to, even though I was terrified, I still didn't want to be mean and get anyone in trouble. I'm just like, I'm sure it's fine. I don't want to get anyone in trouble. I'm just scared. I want to get to my car and not have this guy follow me. He hasn't been taking any hints. I don't know what to do. Like, he's dropping information about my hometown, and it's really leaving me not feeling safe. And she's like, okay, you know what? I'm going to go talk to the other security staff, and we're going to get him away from that bench. We're going to get him away so you can get out. And I'm like, okay, just don't do anything to him. Like, I don't think he means anything by it. I just want to leave. I just want to leave safely. And at that point, we get out, and a very nice security officer, he greeted us there, and, he asked us what was going on. And again, I was very adamantly going, I really do just think this guy is socially awkward. I don't think he realizes how scary he's coming off. I don't think he means to do these things. Like, I get when you're socially awkward that you can do these things. I don't know if he understands. I don't want him in trouble. I just don't want him following me to my car. I want to be able to go, and he's made it clear he's going to wait outside the bathroom on a bench for us when we told him, have a good day, goodbye. Like, he wants to follow me to my car. And, there was another security officer that kind of looked at us like skeptically, like, mean girls just don't want to have the time of day for a poor guy that just wants their number. And, he goes against our wishes, brings the guy over so he can apologize. And, at this point, like, I'm next to the big security guard. Like, I'm just, like, huddled next to him because this guy has terrified me at this point. And, I while physically shaking, and Shadow Kisses can attest to this, I decided, you know what? If he really is socially awkward, I need to explain exactly what he did that scared me so he can learn from this moment and understand why it is I'm so uncomfortable with him. So he knows, like, he's not just having this bad experience and, like, why did this happen? I'm like, I realize you probably did not mean anything to come off scary or intrusive. However, you have scared me with your behavior following us around, and especially by asking me for personal information and dropping information that I didn't tell you. It feels very invasive, it's scary, and I would like you to now leave me alone, please, and just understand that this is why I'm scared. And instead of just going, like I expected, and going, oh gosh, I'm so sorry, I didn't realize, I wasn't thinking, whatever, I won't do it again, have a good day, bye. Instead, he just refuses to acknowledge that my feelings of being terrified are valid and just goes, well, I didn't mean that to be scary. I still want to know where you live. I want to know where you live so we can hang out more and get to know each other better. I would like to give you my phone number. And at that point, thank God, the security officer that I was backing into in terror was like, you need to go, take him away. And, like, he didn't take him away, like, oh, throw him in jail. He just ushered him away to a different part of the convention space so we could have a clear exit of the building. And I felt horribly guilty about this for a while because, like, I felt like I was mean for, like, getting security involved, even though I didn't even directly do it. It was just security officer. She overheard my distress, and then she was like, no, I'm sorry, this situation's going down, and it's my responsibility. I can't not do anything about it when I literally just overheard this, so I'm gonna, I didn't intentionally sick anybody on him, and I didn't want to be mean, and I tried explaining to him, but you know what, I reached a point where I'm like, actually, it's silly for me to have to feel guilty over being made to feel terrified, And I'm not gonna feel guilty when I even took the effort to try and explain to him why he scared me, rather than just leaving him, like, because I didn't have to tell him, these are the exact things you did that scared me. Like, I tried to give him a teaching moment, and instead he just flipped it on its head, demanded more personal information, and tried to give me his phone number. Like, he basically went, I know you're scared, but I don't care because I want to date you. And, like... That is not how you start a relationship. Let me just, all you guys that, solid advice, don't try and start a relationship that way, because probably ain't gonna work out too well. But yeah, so I mean, the nice security guard, he walked us out to my car, and we got out safely and everything, and, you know, I haven't done any events since, but I imagine after that, I would like to hope that after that run-in with the security, even if he wasn't willing to accept me going, this is scaring me, and like wouldn't give up then, hopefully at least having a talk with security would make him realize that just it's a lost cause, stop stalking this person, and just like let them have peace. So hopefully I won't run into him at any more events, but it's hard because I love doing these events, and now I'm starting to wonder, like, am I going to have to, like, go with the large groups now? Or if I can't get a large group, am I going to have to just sit out on an event? Because, I don't know. I still have that bad feeling about how everything went down, but at the same time, I was very uncomfortable. I was scared. I tried explaining why, and he didn't care. He just kept locking on trying to get more private, personal information. And it was very inappropriate. So, I mean, I guess the main teaching moment out of this is, you guys, like, I don't know if this is just because I'm a YouTuber or if this is how we would treat just any other person, but, like, there's got to be a line in the sand where you don't cross certain things. Like, just because I do work in the public doesn't mean, like, every aspect of my personal, private life is, like, free for you to invite yourself into because you're a fan of my stuff, you know? Like, I will, of course, I will be nice to you and take photos with you and chat with you and everything if I see you at events, but, like, don't just assume that watching my videos is an invite into my physical apartment and, like, it entitles you to a personal, intimate relationship with me, because got news for you. Like, I'm big on the stranger danger, honey. Don't try it. So, anyway, this was kind of a tough story to retell. You could probably tell, given how, like, awkward and jittery I have been in this story. But, you know, I don't know what else to tell you guys. Just try to think before you do things. Read on people's body language. And if you're bad at reading on people's body language, if they straight up tell you, this is your behavior that is scaring me and frightening me, I don't like this, please leave me alone, and your response should not be, I know that it bothers you since you just told me, but I don't care, I'm still going to keep up this behavior because I want what I want. Don't do that, you guys. That's the main lesson I can come up with this one. I don't know. But I hope you guys, you know, enjoyed this video. I know it was not so comfy of a story topic. I don't know if you guys can relate. I'm sure there's plenty of people who have had similar experiences. I've heard some horror stories about conventions. I don't know, there's amazing stuff with conventions, but you can also run into some spooky things as well. So have you had an encounter somewhat similar to this? Maybe not as bad, maybe worse, that you want to talk about in the comments below? Feel free to share. This is a sharing and caring time. And if you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like, and if you are new here, please consider subscribing. I try to update pretty regularly on this channel with more story times and vlogs and all my off-topic stuff that's not horror like my main channel. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I will catch you all later, but that is all for now. Bye-bye! Thanks for watching, and before you go, here's a special shout out to my patrons who donated $20 or more. Tyler Spooks, Alice Gutierrez, Kura, and Simon Laverdier Delisle. Thanks so much, you guys. If you're interested in becoming a patron and helping me to keep YouTube creepy, please feel free to check out the link in the card.